colors, and that will show the person you're asking who you should level characters that are already leveled up. It's really Today, I'm going to give you 3 tips on how to answer the question, who should I level? As you can see, everybody in the comments is asking me, who should I level? It's a question you get asked all the time. So by the end of the video, you will know exactly who to level. If this video receives 10,000 likes, I will power level up any of these bad heroes just because I think it's funny. So leave a comment, let me know which one I should power level. Tip number 1. What heroes do you already have leveled? Before you ask anybody what hero you should level, you should show who you already have leveled. It's very easy. All you got to do is just go through your account, just sort it by color, screenshot the ones that are already leveled, and the color that you're in, it gives you good sense. Maybe they might need to know other heroes, so you can also sort it by power with all the other colors, and that will show the person you're asking who you should level characters that are already leveled up. It's really important to know that. Tip number 2, have you looked at my hero grades? This is an incredibly important tool. I know some people may say, hey, I don't really like the grade for this or whatever, it's biased. It's fine. It's a baseline for you to get an indication as far as where a hero is. This will give you a good idea if it's better to level this person up in this category or this person up in this category. It's sorted by about 20 different graders that we have that go through and they give their opinions, thoughts, and a lot of them are in beta and have already tested these heroes like myself. So this video is sponsored by Darkfire Heroes, where you can collect awesome heroes ranging from common, rare, and epic. Battle your way through swarms of evil enemies using completely unique abilities to either deal damage or keep your homies alive. With amazing 2D graphics and a completely immersive gameplay, I love how difficult the campaign gets later in stages. My favorite part of the game is brawling in the PvP arena. It gives real-time action against real players with numerous effective strategies. I've got to be honest with you guys, I've been cheating on Empires and Puzzles. To say that I enjoyed Darkfire Heroes, it would be an understatement. I was able to get myself over 18,000 cups in the season and placed near the top 10 multiple times in the world in clan-based tournaments. I promise Darkfire Heroes will be a breath of fresh air on your wallet and give you a unique mix of real-time strategy with RPG-like character development. Download from the link in the descriptions and you will take part in the new player bonus where you get a bunch of useful stuff in the first week. The Berserker's Blood is going to be equipment you will definitely be using in the very beginning. Thanks for your support, Darkfire Heroes. I'll see you on the battlefield. So make sure you check that out. You can go to anchorgame.com/grades and you can see everything. You get a quick glance of the grades based on opinions, but a ton of the grades are based on math. If you go through, you go to the advanced table, this will show you every single character and you can go through and scroll and find which one, and it gives you a full detailed advanced view, or you can just do the search for feature here and it will just give you the hero with the grade. Very simple. I also have this incredible resource called Halbert that will just show you this instantaneously. All you gotta do, you type into the line group and it gives you the hero. So that is part of Anchor Cove. I'll leave a video on how to join if you are interested in getting that resource. Tip number 3 is understanding the suggested level sequencing. This one is really, really important, and I think that I was able to finally articulate it. When people ask me, who should I level? This is the sequence that I'm going through in my head when I'm looking at your heroes when you're asking me. So rather than ask me or ask all your alliance members, you can use kind of the same sort of sequencing to answer the question yourself. So the first order in sequencing is what I would call overall amazing heroes. That's number 1. These are heroes like Frigg, Morale, Black Knight, Krampus, or Senya. These characters are just amazing in all facets of the game. They're really useful on Titans, they're really useful on offense, and typically are really powerful on defense. So these are an overall character that will just be amazing. So some of the pros are, they're obviously amazing in all phases of the game, and you will most likely use this character almost every day. I know a hero like Frigg all the time pretty much for me. The biggest con against all of these is that you're always at risk of nerf. They're typically overpowered. You can use them in a lot of different facets, so that they are probably number one on the chopping block and do have the potential. So when you level them up, don't get too attached, they may change. The second order level of sequencing in terms of leveling is what I would consider Titan Heroes. These are really important. Characters like Miki, Guardian Panther, Evelyn, Costume Leonidas, Costume Barine, Tarlac. These are just staples in the Titan teams, and they're going to be used all the time with the specific Titan colors that you're going to need. Characters like Miki and Tarlac will be used literally every single day. The pros to this is they are important because they're usually difference makers on getting high scores. So I know I increased my Titan scores substantially just by getting Miki, leveling him all the way up and using him frequently. It's a big difference. You'll see a big difference with like Guardian Panther going in. So those will improve your Titan scores. It's really important because higher scores equals higher tiers, which equals higher chances of Ascension items. So if you are getting higher levels in which you're dealing damage to the Titan, you have more potential to get more Ascension items, which allows you to level up your characters, obviously more emblems, all that good stuff. And another pro about this is they are used quite frequently. Like I said, Miki goes with me every single day. And what's really awesome about these characters is that they're rarely outdated and they're a safe risk on wasted resources. So sometimes you have a character that either gets outdated or it gets nerfed. Typically these Titan heroes, they're not going to get really nerfed to oblivion. The only character we saw that got a major nerf was Athena, and still she's one of the most impressive blue Titan heroes in the game. The biggest con to these characters is that they can lack all-around usage and can be one-dimensional. So even though you are using them very frequently on Titans, you're probably not going to be using them on other stages of the game. The third order in sequencing in the leveling is going to be defensive heroes. Characters like Bara, Sif, Caitlyn Costume, Garnet, Elizabeth. We're seeing a huge rise in these characters. These characters are really, really impressive on defense. And the biggest pros to all of these characters is it will allow you to join higher rank alliances, which gives you more of a potential to get better loot. So the better defensive characters you have, that's kind of your first image when you're applying to an alliance. They're going to look at how good your defensive heroes are because they're thinking of war and they want to go ahead and increase their chances of winning in war. So that's the very first thing that they're looking at. It's a good presentation thing. If you have good defensive heroes, you have a higher likelihood to join higher ranking alliances, which gives you higher ranking loot. So that's really important. So the other thing is the higher your cups are, the higher percentages you have on getting better loot from the raid chests, because you're more into platinum. You don't have to worry about all your cups always being dropped so far up. So that's another big advantage to it. And these are, if you're more into the advanced gameplay or end gameplay, these are the heroes that you're going to want to limit break and put emblems up to 20, because again, it's really important for the alliance. You work together as an alliance to all grow. So you want to do your part to make sure you have your defensive heroes that are maxed out. You're doing it. That's going to be more for the expert end game later usage. People are going to debate me saying that limit breakers are better for X heroes or whatever, but if you're playing at an advanced level, you're going to limit break at your defensive heroes. The biggest con to the defensive heroes is that they can be easily outdated. We saw characters like Guinevere, Teleria, Gravemaker, Vila, Kunshin, all these characters, they were just really amazing on defense, but as time progressed, they ended up getting their emblems taken. They get taken off defensive. You don't see them as much anymore. So they do have that potential to where they can be outdated and a different hero comes out and they're just better on defense. Another con to these characters is that they can lack all-around usage and can be a little bit one-dimensional. So sometimes they're just really good on defense and that's pretty much it. Not going to be amazing in other ends, so they're not bad, but they're super important, but you can't use them in all phases of the game. Number 4 in the order of sequencing is offensive heroes. So amazing offensive heroes, characters like Skadi, the Hatter, Grimble, Lady Loki, Onatel, Zimkeitha, Hel. These characters are just overall just amazing on offense for different scenario. They're extremely useful in certain situations, giving a major advantage. So Skadi, really good against characters that are using a bunch of emblems. The Hatter, if they're using characters that have a whole bunch of defensive buffs. Grimble, again, minions. Lady Loki, if they have buffs. So all of that kind of stuff like that is going to be really, really important. They're going to be situationally amazing in certain circumstances, and that's why they're number 4. And what's really amazing about these offensive heroes is typically they can be used in either mono or 3-2, so they are also really good. It doesn't matter what formation you're using in terms of your colors, you're still going to find really good uses out of this. And what's really awesome is they usually retain their utility. So that's another pro about it. So the Hatter is just going to be always amazing against characters that are going to be giving a bunch of defensive buffs. Hel is always going to be amazing against characters that are gaining a whole bunch of fast mana. So they rarely lose how amazing they are in their certain situations. The cons about these heroes is that there are so many options to pick. There's so many times when I do a hero breakdown, everybody's like, man, this hero is amazing. Well, typically it's usually only amazing on offense, and there's a ton of characters that are amazing on offense. It doesn't mean you shouldn't level them up, it just means that there are a bunch of options to pick that are amazing on offense. And another con is that they're missing kind of that what I would consider the X factor in other parts of the game. So maybe they're not really that great on defense or Titans, but they're still amazing on offense. So it's awesome, but on other parts it's just missing the overall X factor. And another issue with these heroes is that they can go unused later for heroes that are better / have emblems. So myself personally, I have 2 Hels that are at level 80. I literally never use Hel. June, I have 2 Junes that are at level 80. I don't use June that much often because they just outdated by other heroes that I have emblems on or more situationally, which honestly it's really sad to say because Hel is probably my favorite character in the game. Number 5 in the order of sequencing would be amazing 4-star heroes such as like Wilbur, Grim, Gullenbursty, Regard Costume. These characters are just really, really important. And the biggest pros is that they're really easy to find, not very hard to get. You don't have to spend a whole bunch of money. And you can kind of look at the grades to find the best ones for the different situations that you might need. And these are really awesome for intermediate players. So if you're in the beginner or intermediate, you're probably facing up against a bunch of Regard costumes, facing up against like Grim costume or regular Grim emblemed all the way up. And they're kind of annoying in your sequencing. So they're really, really great for intermediate players. And what's another pro about them is that they will go with you on a bunch of different places in the beginning. So I remember I used Wilbur literally like all the time. I used Wilbur even when I had other characters to be using. Wilbur was just great. And they're also super awesome for events. If you look at the top players, again, I gotta mention Wilbur. Wilbur's just amazing for the events. There's people that are getting first place that are using Wilbur on every single event. So that's also another thing too. Another thing is that they're awesome for weekly raid tournaments. So obviously we have these that roll around. You're going to need to have characters that are leveled up, and you'll be able to use those time and time again. And some of them are actually better than 5 stars on Titans. Again, Wilbur, Guardian Jackal, Wukong, Guardian Falcon. So these characters will be used on 14-star Titans because they are just that good, depending on what other characters you have. The cons against these amazing 4-star heroes is they are easy to grow out of most of them. A lot of times you're not going to be using them very much often. As you level up your 5 stars, you throw emblems on them, you're going to find that they're going to be a lot more useful. They're going to stay alive a lot longer when you've got the 5 stars. so they're gonna definitely go away. And then another con against them is they're most seldom used except for events and raid tournaments. Unfortunately, a lot of them, they just don't get used. And another con against them is they die easily. Obviously, they're 4-star heroes. They don't have as much potential, especially when you emblem them up. Number 5 in the level sequencing is what I would consider fun heroes. So this would be like Rumpelstiltskin, Dunzaburo, Agir, maybe Guardian Chameleon. And do me a favor, make sure, like I said, like the video, subscribe, and let me know your favorite pet hero. So my fun hero that I've always wanted to be getting down to number 5 is Obacon, and especially with the costume, that's kind of like my pet hero. I don't know why, I've always loved Obacon. I just never could justify the mats. So what's a fun hero? The pros to the fun hero is it's a hero you personally like a lot, even though it might not be good or what other people say are good. It's just a character you like. So go ahead, level it up, it's fun. And usually another pro is they're out of the norm. I've been beaten by a random Rumpelstiltskin on defense, just random heroes that you're like, wow, what are you doing on defense? But hey, it's a fun hero. Sometimes they'll get you, and sometimes you're gonna wanna use them. Everybody's got kind of that fun hero. The cons against them is you might regret using the mats. Actually, just kidding. It's your pet hero. Forget everybody else, you'll be fine. And another con is it's just not a ton of usage. It's probably gonna sit on your bench. You might pull it out for fun, just to kind of show people. It's not really gonna be a character you're gonna use all the time. Number 6 on the sequencing would be an amazing 3-star hero. So this would be like a Gunner costume, Barine costume, Siduri, Nordri. These are just overall just awesome characters for 3 stars. Some of them, again, they're making their way into the events as well as making their way on 14-star Titans. So the pros to this, they are crucial for events and raid tournaments. Obviously, like I threw Nordri on my defense, or sorry, Siduri on my defense, and just annihilated everybody in the very fast tournaments when I'm running the 3 stars. So there's just some that are going to be very much a game changer, will help you. And the raid tournaments are actually super mega important right now because they're what are giving you the ether to limit break your different characters. So this is another big pro to leveling up these guys and making it an important thing for you. And like I mentioned, sometimes they can be used on Titans. The con on these is that they're very weak. Obviously, they die very easily. Throwing them in on Titans, you're certainly gonna probably have them die pretty quickly. It is what it is. Another thing is they won't get much usage later. You're gonna definitely outgrow these heroes in the long term. So it's okay to have them, but you're just not gonna use them that much. And you're pretty much only using them when you're forced to. And then number 7 on this list would be what I would consider like meh 5 stars. So these are characters that, you know, if you're a free-to-play character, you know, you don't really spend a whole bunch of money on the game, and you just have a 5-star that you need to level up. All right, you could do it then. Number 8 on that would be like a meh 4-star. Number 9 is kind of like the meh 3 stars. So that's kind of the order of sequencing that I recommend for you guys, because it'll give you a very clear direction on my thought process, most people's thought process when they're looking at your heroes. And the biggest thing that's going to help you out is just go quickly look at the grades, and you'll kind of see what is going on. Figure out where this hero ranks in the suggested level of sequencing, and then go from there and level it up. So thanks so much. Make sure you subscribe to the video. Let me know in the comments. Make sure you like it, because let me know in the comments of which hero you want me to level up that's really bad. I appreciate all the support. I'll see you on the next video.